Well, now you have an album that's actually released in Japan, correct? It's called City of My Heart?
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, throughout the leakage and the touring in Germany and the UK and Middle East and all that, the record kind of like did its thing and migrated to Japan. And people started telling me, and I got actually like offers overseas online, and Maya actually spoke to someone from the label because she's a label mate, Maya.
Okay.
And I guess it was like a request to work with me, and they found out my information, and basically they proposed the offer. But before them, there was other Japanese labels. They proposed offers, and I wasn't too sure because it kind of didn't understand, like, I didn't actually believe if it was like just real enough or not, because there was a lot of stuff happened through MySpace, even my touring, and it was pretty legit. And this label offered a really good deal. I met with them. I thought everyone was really cool, and they really believed in me. So I just kind of moved forward, and they really been just like promoting and pushing me, and got me to open up the Neo in October, and it's just been an amazing ride. They're an amazing label, and I'm really happy that I'm signed to Manhattan Records in Japan.
People don't know about Japan, and they really embrace R&B music. Why do you think that there's like this whole like movement of R&B happening in Japan?
You know what? Honestly, Japanese people have incredible voices. I think that they've been influenced by R&B music. From the early R&B music that we're influenced by, from Boyz II Men, Mariah. They were big supporters of those pop stars that mean so much today to us. So they never let that go. They're full of melody, like they have karaoke. Karaoke's a part of their culture, so people sing all the time. And I think that just kind of like kept the R&B alive. So they just never let it go. I think they just never let it go. It's really, really something that's a part of their culture. The way they live, the way they dress. It's just a part of their culture as well.
You toured around the world. What's like a favorite place that you visited?
What's one of my favorite places? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Well, I would say Japan. I love Japan. I think Japan is incredible, just like the fashion, the food, the people, the hospitality, the culture. It's an amazing, amazing place.
Would you say it's similar to New York, your birthplace?
It looks very similar. The sense of business, I think, is similar, but they're still very cultural, and it's still Japanese populated versus America. You could just have 40 different races on one block. So they grow up with such a strong culture, and people are just so respectful. You know what I mean? The hospitality is great. They really appreciate what we could bring as Americans, and I mean that's just really like impressive to me. It's like it's really great. You know what I'm saying? I'm really thankful. So I really love Japan. Japan is like a place that I've really grown to just really, really, really love.
What sort of things, because we know you as a songwriter, what sort of things inspire you as a songwriter?
I'm inspired by everything. I'm inspired by the things I've been through, the things I see, just people talking, dreams, things I wish that could happen, maybe, a little bit of everything. And then also sometimes I'm just active. Sometimes I'm just playful when I turn into things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just have to turn into a little boy and think about how I maybe have felt when I was a little boy or what a little boy would say. And just, it's a job where you can turn into an actor and you can speak from not only your perspective but everybody's perspective. So I'm inspired by everything, by other musicians, other artists, other writers, different genres of music, different languages, fashion, food, just everything, life in its journey and the beauty of life. And I try to, put that into a song.
Mm. And what do you usually do what kind of advice can you give other up-and-coming songwriters to kind of get that that flow and just try to get them prepared to be a songwriter? Because I remember you said that you started and you lied and said you knew how to write a song, but you really did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
so how
I
did
would
you
tell
become a really great songwriter?
I would tell other inspiring songwriters to, open their mind. Even rappers, a lot of rappers are incredible lyricists. And I would say just open your mind to different genres of music. Listen to as much music as you can. Not even only music, just I think, just the tempo of life is a song. When you're walking down the street, the blowing of the car, the horns on the car, just everything is a song. But definitely open your mind to new music, stuff that maybe you don't get. Go back and study the greats, the people you look up to, or the people you look up to, the reason why, who they look up to, and be vulnerable, give into it, be a slave to the music, allow yourself to really go there, Don't be shy or embarrassed. Take yourself there. Think outside the box. Think of a new way how to say the same thing. How can you tell someone you love them in 10 other different ways, without saying I love you? Like, just really push yourself, force yourself to just, like I said, once again, think outside the box. I'm like a vacuum. I kind of like you have to keep like a part of the songwriter on every day. Like the songwriter is always open. When I'm talking to you, you may say something that just may spark or turn the light bulb on in my head, and I'll make it a song,
What sort of artists inspire you, or what artists are you listening to now?
I love Lady Gaga. I love what she's doing. I think that it's amazing to see an artist just be that talented and gifted and so committed and so committed to her craft and so honest. I could appreciate the honesty, and I could tell that it's her. It's who she is. I'm inspired by, what'd you say?
No, so we were having a heavy discussion in the KEMPIRE chat room about Lady Gaga versus Christina Aguilera. Any thoughts on that?
I think, Christina's great. She had her time. You know what I mean? And, Christina will always be Christina Aguilera. But Lady Gaga is who she is now. She represents a new demographic, and I think a lot of people can relate to her. I mean, she's up today, and I think they're two different artists, and there's room for both of them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I definitely am a fan of Lady Gaga. I mean, she's a phenomenon. She has 6 to 7 number one hits. Her first album, every record went number one. On a debut album, that's unheard of. It's not happen. It didn't happen to everybody, and there's a reason behind that. It's her time, and I think that people need to let her shine.
Yeah.
Everyone has their day in the sun. Let her shine. You know what I mean?
So, what other artists inspire you?
I'm still inspired by a lot of the greats. Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Carole King, the Beatles, Elton John, Queen. It's a little bit of everything. I'm really, really versatile when it comes to music. I just listen to everything. Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac. I'm just inspired by everything.
As a songwriter, what producers, because I know you've worked with a variety of producers in your career, what producers do you like to work with, and what producers do you dream to work with?
It's really weird. I feel like I've worked with nearly almost everybody. Dream producers, I probably would say like David Foster and Diane Warren. I would just love to do it because I'm just such a fan of what they did and their hits of Max Martin. I would love to work with him. I have so many producers that I love to work with them. It's always a pleasure just working with, an honor to work with a producer that's established and somebody that's just as equally passionate about the music the way you are. So any producer, even new up and coming producers, there's a lot of new great ones. When I can find a producer that's that passionate and you can tell studying their craft and striving for greatness, it's always an honor and a pleasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.